Brothers and sisters, Trinity Guzman coming at you again right now from Mexico, from my amazing home in Mexico. Just loving it here so much, creating just pure magic, sitting with the medicine on like a weekly basis, again with another just report or video, sharing my experiences from my ayahuasca ceremony last night. You know, ayahuasca, many people talk about ayahuasca and its relationship with DMT, but you know, on one aspect, if you look at it from a scientific perspective, okay, there's the DMT and the combination of the plants, you know, ayahuasca and chacruna, that's how the ayahuasca tea is made. And like, a lot of people talk about it as this DMT experience, you know, there's a certain something that happens so that the DMT can be absorbed into our brains, and a lot of people speak about the effects being had upon us through the DMT, or this molecule, you know, and there's like so much research that's been put into DMT and what a profound teacher it is, but what I truly believe that makes ayahuasca as profound of a teacher as it is the spirit of the plant, is madre, mother, you know, they call her Mother Ayahuasca for a reason, because she's exactly that, a spirit, you know, a mother, abuelita, grandmother. Sometimes she can be, you know, just like a mother, she can just be so loving, so gentle, just give you the deepest and bring you into the most profound states of love that you've ever experienced. Or she can give you some tough love sometimes, you know, if you need it. And maybe, like, if you're out of alignment in some way, give you a little smack around so that you can come back into alignment, just like a mother who's loving would. You know, and that is what really makes the experience of ayahuasca so profound. And my experience last night had a lot to do with my sexual energy. And that's why the title of this video is the way it is. You know, ayahuasca, DMT, and sexuality. Like, what do they have in common? You know, what makes them similar? And for me, I've been on this path, ayahuasca, for years, lifetimes, really, lifetimes. I've seen so clearly in so many journeys that my medicine, my experience and my history with the medicine goes so deep, so many lifetimes. And that's why, you know, I have such a profound connection with her in this life. And that's why I'm just so called to share this medicine. And my intention, as I sat before I made this video, I always just connect with my intention for why, you know, I make these videos and what feeling I want to leave you with, you know. And for me, right now, when I connected with that, it was like, I want to leave you with some questions that make you question your relationship with maybe your spirituality or sexuality. Because for me, I, without a doubt, hands down believe that they are one and of the same. They are the same thing. They are synonymous, sexuality and spirituality. And what allows that to be the case, of course, is the intention. You know, I've been on this wild journey, traveling the world for years now, experiencing so many different profound teachers in the physical sense, like a physical teacher, or a non-physical teacher, you know, angels, guides, or plant teachers. And I'm constantly under this journey of just like endless evolution that's going so fast. You know, the people around me are just like, what is going, like, I keep coming to them being like, oh my God, I've just had the most intense experience of my entire life. And it seems to always be that way. Why? Is because I have this endless intention to just grow, to just evolve, to just come back to the truth, whatever that means, and letting go of anything that is less than the truth. That is what my whole journey is, and that's all I'm here to share with the world. And, you know, that's why I make these videos, that's why I share ayahuasca, that's why I build out everything that I build out, is to just share awakening, to share truth, to share the same realizations that I come to on my own path, that I come to on my journey. Excuse the Mexican yelling if you can hear it in the background. But, yeah, like, one of the most profound things that I've discovered on my path of healing, of awakening, and of knowing and discovering and living truth is sexuality. And, you know, for a lot of people, they might be like, huh? How? What? Or so that it might even trigger some people. Because there's certain relationships that many of us have with sexuality that isn't often in a good context, in a good light. A lot of people are ashamed of their sexuality, are shy, are, have a hard time with their sexuality. It boggles me how many women have, are just sexually scarred or sexually frustrated, or like when I was thinking about that, the first thing that came to mind was like, how many women actually haven't had an orgasm, and this is like, I'm talking about this so nonchalantly because it is normal conversation. I hope it is anyway. I see a world where we can all be open and unashamed about our sexuality, about orgasms, about sex, and about our own desires. Why? Is because I truly see and know from my heart of hearts that our sexuality is our impulse to know truth. The thing is, we grow up in a world where our sexuality, like, we're taught how we're meant to be with our sexuality in a way that isn't clean, in a way that isn't in alignment with truth, in a way that isn't of love, of light, of consciousness. It's a very unconscious way of sexuality that we learn in the world of North America, or the world of the first world, or whatever you want to call it. But like, especially in the world of advertising, we're taught, basically, like, the whole thing that drives cities is sexuality, money, and power. Money, sex, and power. Those are the three things that drive cities. Almost all advertising is in some way or another geared towards sexuality. Like, why do people want a nice car? It's so you can be attractive in the eyes of the other sex. All the clothes, all the like designer labels, all the, the ego and the facade, all of it is about show. And why is often rooted in like this very unconscious sexual relationship that we're taught in cities. Does this make sense? Like, basically, we're just taught that our sexuality is something that, should kind of be unconscious. And, like, we're just taught in North American culture and in the first world, even in countries all over the world, just the whole relationship that we have with sexuality is that it's okay to just, have sex with people and not have the highest intentions and the highest truth of love be behind that. And for me, that's what I feel, makes sexuality spiritual, is the intention. Is the intention to connect with God. And as I see that sexuality and the tantric path, which I am so called to, in Tantra, there's this whole like preconceived notion of what Tantra is. A lot of people think Tantra is just about sexuality, but no, Tantra is about love. Tantra is a philosophy of getting to know God and the divine. And that's where this topic of ayahuasca, DMT, and sex, what do they all have in common? Is that they're all paths to God. I've experienced, ayahuasca for years on a very regular basis, and DMT it's an element of ayahuasca. A lot of people ask me about it, and if that's what leads to the experience. But no, it's like ayahuasca is a spirit, DMT is a molecule, and you can smoke DMT too. And I have had that experience as well. It's been incredibly profound. Why? Because the intentions behind it. But on top of this, there's sexuality. And so I personally, I've done so much medicine work. I've done dietas where I've drank for weeks, where, I drink every couple days or every few days and clean my body and just go deeper and deeper and deeper with the medicine. And with that, I can still say that the most depth, the deepest I've ever gone to know and experience the truth of what the divine really is, that goes so far beyond words, is sacred sexuality. And so it's my intention in sharing this with you, first and foremost, to bring consciousness to our sexuality. You know, a lot of the times we're very unconscious with our sexuality. And, 20% battery remaining. And a lot of the times we're unconscious with our sexuality. And we often just have sex for the sake of having sex. We have sex for pleasure. We have sex just because. We have sex based on like these primal lust desires that are just very rooted in the lower chakras. And one of the most profound things that I've learned how to do is learn how to take this energy and move it up, you know, sublime it, transmute it, consecrate it, offer it to the divine, to the world, to the whole, to creation. You know, I do so much creating in this physical world in terms of building things that offer service to other beings. And right now I'm launching a coaching company, actually, which is helping women expand their orgasmic capacity through healing the sexual traumas that, you know, so surprisingly, so many women have. And this is work that I've been doing on a very one-on-one basis for years now, as this is just like what Spirit has called me to do. And, you know, there's all these different aspects of healing that I'm here to bring the world, you know, help women in this way that I just described, help men step up into being men, yang, have that energy to be the provider, the protector, you know, to have that vision, that focus, that direction, that vision of service for the world, and to let that be the core driving force that operates everything we do. You know, and of course, ayahuasca, healing on a very physical level, an emotional, psychological, and mental level. These are just, you know, little things scratching the surface of the things that I'm building out. And why I'm sharing that is simply because, you know, with ayahuasca, with our sexuality, I want to bring consciousness to you, you know, to your life. I want to bring truth and aspects of truth and what that can mean for you into your experience. So I'm leaving you with a question of like, what's your relationship like with your sexuality? Are you ashamed of it? Are you shy of it? Is it hard for you to talk about it? Is it hard for you to express your desires? Are you shy? Or are you overly sexual, you know, very unconscious about it and just like treat sexuality like this thing that, you know, you just want maybe like a drink or like, I don't know, I can't think of something that's just like as nonchalant as maybe a cup of water. But, you know, what's your relationship like with your sexuality? Are you treating it as sacred? That is the question. Are you treating it as a portal to know truth, to know God, you know, to come back to who you really are? Because there's this like magical, alchemical reaction that happens when you can bring the highest intentions with love, you know, true love, love of yourself first and the other, you know, like the reflection of how much love we can share with another is just a reflection of how much love that we can have for ourselves, for life itself, for the divine. And as we expand our abilities to love ourselves, to love life, we expand our ability to love others. And that's where it all starts, you know, loving ourselves, you know. And yeah, where there's this alchemical reaction, magic, pure magic, when you combine love, intention, and breath, unified breath with a partner. You know, maybe you've had an experience where you've had a sexual experience that took you so deep and it was just so profound and left you like on clouds for days, you know, and you've maybe tried having that experience again and haven't been able to. Well, these are the three things that I can say that lead to the most profound experiences of sexuality that we possibly could experience. And how this even has anything to do with ayahuasca is because in my journey last night, I just was so deeply connected to how my sexuality is my greatest path to my enlightenment. You know, in the tantric path in the world, they say that in tantric philosophy, like an hour of sexual practice is equivalent to like 3 or 4 hours of non-sexual practice. So let's say you meditate for an hour, you know, that like, or you have sex for an hour of like deliberate, intentional, offering it to the divine, being very deliberate about the experience that you're having with your partner, treating it as sacred, offering it to bring love to the world, offering it to open yourself and to open your partner and to experience a unity, you know, a sense of oneness, and to experience God deeper than you ever have before. You know, intentions such as this, of purity, of cleanliness, of truth, you know? When you come at it with this experience and this intention, and you move up your sexual energy and don't just like need to release it through the lower chakras, then 1 hour of sexual practice in this way is equivalent to 3 or 4 hours of meditation outside of sexual practice. And so I just really connected with the fact that sexuality is my greatest path to my continued evolution. And it was just shown so clearly how that's going to look for me in my life, you know. And I just wanted to share this truth. And, you know, this is a longer video than I normally make my videos, because like I feel like I want to really hammer this point in, you know, or gently place it in front of people. You know, no force, but simply offering it and letting you ask yourself these questions. Are you really treating your sexuality as sacred? Are you really using your sexuality for the most potent tool as it is to know and connect with God? And are you using it as the portal to truth and the divine that it really is? This happens through love, this happens through breath, and this happens through intention. And with that all being said, I'm just so grateful to have made this video for you. Thank you so much for watching. If you're interested at all in ayahuasca, in following me, subscribe to this channel and check out my description, or the link in the description, ayahuascahealings.com. I have an ayahuasca retreat center in Peru, and, you know, just facilitating the deepest healing for people who are called to this work. You know, don't let me say that ayahuasca is for you. It's not for everybody. But obviously, if you're watching this video, you know, maybe it is for you. But the most important thing that I can say with that is, you know, ayahuasca calls to you. And if you feel the call, if you hear the call, then listen, because it can be one of the greatest gifts that you can ever receive. And I'm just here to educate people, share my experiences, and of course, more than anything, just share my love. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next video.